Hi everyone. Today I'll show you how to use GitHub desktop, and in this I'll perform some HTML code, and we'll see some of the aspects of HTML tags. And firstly I will show you how to create a repository. Click on the file and click on new repository. You can see this create a new repository, and here you can give any name and click on initialize this repository, and you can click on create repository. So since I have already created a repository, so I am going to use this group 4 lab 2 repository. So I am clicking on my editor, Visual Studio Code. So there are two folders in this, and I'll show you how to create a folder here. Just right click on this and you can create a new folder. So I'm creating a folder Sharath. So the folder is created. So in that folder, right click and you can create a new file. So I'm creating a file index.html. So you can see on the right side of the window it is already open, index.html. So similarly I'll create two more HTML files. So right click on this, create new file again. So my second file is outline.html. So similarly I'm going to create one more, that is documentation.html. So we created three new files. So in the index.html I'll insert some HTML code which I already written. So this is my index.html code. Say this is GitHub desktop, so it shows three files created and says this file is empty. So in this index.html I'm going to paste this, and outline.html, I'm going to copy this code which I have written earlier. So I'm in the documentation.html, I'll do the same thing. This is a simple HTML code. So I'm going to copy on this documentation.html. So I'm going to save this, Control S. Now I open GitHub desktop. Now you can see, because it's I already saved it, so it shows I have to commit here. I'll just simply commit it as web server file. So click on commit to master. So it says push commits to the origin remote. So click on push origin. You can see here fetching origin and refreshing repository. And click on view on GitHub. Here you can see 3 folders, and this folder I created now. Open it. You can see the code in GitHub. This is the total code which I created. So this Sharath is my repository name, and these are the files inside. So I'll show you some of the important tags in HTML. So let me open index.html. So this for every HTML file we're going to use HTML first, since it is a root element for HTML. And in the head tag we are going to write the metadata, and in the title, whatever we write in the title, it will display on the web page as a web page title. So there are head tags h1 to h6. So most probably h1 is the highest header and h6 is the least header. So this style is used for creating like background images, background color. So I'll show you the output so that you'll understand. I'll add images folder into that repository, group 4 lab 2. So I just opened group 4 lab 2 repository. So here I have to create image folder inside my folder. So I have created this. In this I have images which I inserted in the HTML code. So I'll open GitHub, and as I already inserted, it is showing to commit here. So we will type images added, and I'm clicking on commit to master. So you can see now push commits to the origin remote. So I'm clicking on push origin. Here you can see it is fetching, and now we can view here. You can see the code here. In this I used a style tag in body for background.image. This is my image folder PIC, so where I store my images. So I used sp1 image here, and this is the anchor tag, and this is the anchor tag is a hyperlink which is used to create links from one page to another web page. So href is an element in that which is used as a destination file. So my destination file is outline.html. So whenever I click on outline, it will direct me to outline.html here, this code. So whenever I click on documentation, so it will direct me to documentation.html. So let me show you the output so that you'll understand. So this is my index.html. So once I click on outline, it will direct me to index.html. So I can click on back to main menu, so it will take me to back index.html, and I can click on documentation, it will direct me to documentation.html. So this is my background image sp1. which I used in style. Let me show you the different tags which I used in HTML. Here in documentation.html I created chapters. This is my title chapters. So whatever I write in title, it will display on here. I'll show you. So I wrote chapters here, so it is displaying as chapters, and you can see background color. This is my background color. And for paragraph, this is the tag P, and for that I used font family. So this, whatever the font here, I have to use this tag. And I created chapter 1 here, Olympic sports, which is in H2. So the text will be like this, Olympic tag. This is the H2 format. So in that I created list item. So whatever I created in order list OL. This is the tag for order list. And in the list items I created hockey. This is my first list item, and in that for hockey I created paragraph, which I used as P tag. And for this description I used image, so with the help of img tag, and the src defines the source destination file, and that is hockey.jpg, which I stored in PIC folder. So I used alt tag, that is alternate tag, because whenever the there is a problem, if there is any problem in loading image or in taking image, it will display this text instead of that image. So after this image I need a line, so I used break tag br, so it will give some space after the image. And like that I created two badminton in the list items badminton, and I used paragraph tag P. In that I wrote some information. After that I used image tag. Like that I created 3 chapters, and in each chapter I created 3 sub chapters. This is all about documentation.html. And if you observe, I used different style CSS. So this is one tag, style equal to font family is this Verdana, and this is background color. These are all styling sheets. So if I go back to index.html, I used tag I. That means whatever I write inside this I tag, it will display as italic font. So you can see here, go back to index.html, see you can see web server assignment, it is in italic format because I used I tag. And here I used style background image, background color in the sense that is different, and background image in the sense for the entire web page. The image is this sp1 which I stored in PIC. And I gave some font size to the text outline, that is 30px. So you can see the size here. For the same documentation I gave 30px. So if we go to outline, you can see here I am clicking on this hockey link. It is directing me to documentation.html, exactly to the hockey item. So for that we have to add id here, which is in the documentation.html for hockey. Here you can see for hockey I gave id as HOC. You can see here. So this id I am using in outline.html here in the anchor tag. You can see here. So when I click on HOC hockey, it will directing me to this page directly. So whatever you click, badminton, I created BAD, so it is directing me to badminton. So this is how we create a link, by using id. Likewise, I used unordered list, so you can see the bullet points here. So if I use order list, it will display like 1 2 3, it is in order. So you can see the background color here for every chapter, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. So for that I used this color. This two style background color is dim gray. You can see this is the syntax background color, so that is why it's displaying gray color here. And I created the back to menu option. So if I click on that, I'll go back, and if I click, I'll go back to documentation here. So this is how I create basic HTML tags. In this I used h1 tag, which defines the most important heading. So whatever I write in this tag, it displays. The font size is large in this. So you can see the sports in India, and you can see the output here. Here the sports in India, I used h1 tag, so that is why it is, the font is like this. And I've used h2 for these tags, and you can see the difference. And h6 is the least important tag, and it is very small.